You are listening to the Asian Network, and you should be, because it is the world's greatest radio station. Called the BBC Asian Network. No, we love it here. We really do. Okay, I want to pose a scenario to you, okay? You come home from a hard day's work. Not something I would be used to if you'd listen to my wife. And you have nowhere to park because someone's taken your space. How do you react? Research out today suggests drivers are having to increasingly deal with the phenomenon known as parking rage because they're fed up having to battle to park near their homes. Are you dealing with this day in, day out? And how far would you go to bag that parking space every day? Let's talk to Nigel Parsons, who is from Answers Investigation, a private detective agency which runs checks on potential neighbours for people before they move into an area. And we're also going to be speaking to PJ from the Hayes Squad. And I'll ask PJ what the Hayes Squad is all about, even though I know, but I will ask for your benefit. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you.
Nigel, I am gutted that I've only discovered about you today, actually, because I just got the keys to a new place yesterday, and if I'd known about you beforehand, I would have had you prowling the neighbourhood to find out if I was living next to potential serial killers. But Nigel, is this really true? Is parking rage becoming an increasing phenomenon?
Yeah, we've seen quite an increase. I mean, we're a detective agency.
Right.
We deal with business and private and legal investigation.
And do people really use you to find... Is this really true? Have we become so paranoid about our neighbours that we will, before buying a house, that we will go to someone like you and say, mate...
I'm moving.
Yeah, I'm moving. Stake out the area and find out whether I'm going to be moving next to nutters on either side.
Well, I mean, we also deal with a lot of the life problems. You know, the things like moving house. Moving house is a terribly stressful thing.
Yeah, I know.
Some years ago we put together a fixed price package which was designed to give people an idea of what the neighbourhood's going to be like that you're moving into, particularly if you're moving from somewhere else or even from abroad. Now that report comprises a combination of things like research and we'll get out there during the day and ask questions and have a look at what the neighbourhoods are like and see what it's like at night. Yeah. The parking issue, we've just seen it raised in prevalence over the last few years. You know, a few years ago it wasn't a big issue, it wasn't a big priority. Yeah, I've got a car, I'll park it, or I haven't got a park. But so many times again when we're taking a brief from the client, they say, what's the parking like? They're not asking, is there a car park, can I park a car on the road? It's can I get near my car and do I have to walk 2.5 miles? And is somebody going to smash the windows overnight? And am I going to have an argument with my neighbours about who parks outside whose drive? You know, a lot of it, personally to me, is terribly territorial, but...
and that's increasingly becoming an issue.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's not just in urban areas where you can see the obvious.
Yeah.
Personally, I used to live in South London, in Tooting.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm joking.
Oh, that's a great place. Tooting is a fantastic place to live.
Okay, okay.
But we weren't good at that issue. But I remember the road that I lived in, there would be cars parked on either side, and the bit in the middle on the camber was almost the single track road that was left.
Right.
And I can remember how people would be so territorial, not about parking on the road, but parking on a piece of road that's directly outside your house. You know, as if it's an extension of the house, and it's part and parcel of your own grounds and territory.
But I mean, driving home in London, especially, as you all know, heading south of the river at 5:30 on a Friday is such a nightmare that by the time you get home, you are, let's face it, probably likely to be fairly stressed out. And it's not too much to ask, is it, that the car parking space outside your house is yours?
I'm not sure.
And it's a bit unreasonable for someone who doesn't live there to park there, isn't it?
Yeah, and then again, I mean, unfortunately I don't live in London anymore, but I know when I did, generally, the cars stay parked somewhere during the week. I never use the thing at weekends. Right. I mean, even more the issue is the fact that it seems like everybody wants to have a car. You know, unfortunately, I'm getting on a bit in life, but I can remember back when I was a youngster, not even all my friends actually had a car. You know, if you're lucky, you had one, your family had one vehicle, but the idea of having 2 or 3 or 4, as it happens in some houses with teenage households, it's a big change in life, and that space to go and stick the bits of metal on hasn't increased over that period of time. You've got one household, one space out the front, Well, what are you going to do with 2 or 3 cars?
Let's just move on to PJ from the Hayes Squad. PJ, just for the benefit of people who don't know what the Hayes Squad is, could you just give us a quick definition of what Hayes Squad is?
We modified, run-down, smashed-up cars, spent tens of thousands of pounds, making it look good, basically.
You are, of course, the people that I met while filming Desi DNA in Birmingham many years ago, and got to drive around in some of your cars, and they are amazing cars. Now, you spend a lot of money on a car, okay?
Yeah.
You park it you want to park it in front of your house because you want to be able to see it, don't you?
Absolutely.
Now, if somebody nicks your part of what you perceive to be your parking space out there, how do you react?
Absolutely furious.
Right.
I don't believe. But I mean, I'd pay to park outside my house.
Well, no, you pay for a parking permit in your area. You don't technically pay to park outside your house, do you? I've got to be very clear on that.
My house. I spent tens of thousands of pounds on my car. I can't have it parked, 100, 200 metres away from my house. It just makes me absolutely mad.
You're not under the main runway at Heathrow by any chance, at the moment. I know you're in Hayes, but I just heard a bizarre noise going over. So have you ever got into a situation where it's nearly got into a punch-up outside your house?
Several times.
Seriously?
I'm telling you, I've had neighbours actually move out in the end. I cannot handle people taking my space.
You've had people move out?
Yeah, I would actually literally park right next to my house, and I'm in the person on the other side. You have a car there, but no car can get through it. I'll just literally block up the whole street. That's how annoying I get.
PJ, that is really, really antisocial, though, isn't it? I mean, it's
absolutely. But when you go and spend, 20,000, 30,000 pounds on a car, you cannot have it parked, too far away from your house.
Okay, have you ever been in a situation where you have had to park it and then it's been vandalised?
Certainly, yeah, that's it.
That has happened to you?
I've had bits and pieces nicked from my car, and I can't afford to do that.
Okay, so there's a reasonable way of you saying to your neighbours, isn't there? Look, I'm really sorry, but I've spent a lot of money in this car, and if I move it, it will get, no disrespect to your nice little smart car.
I'm a very nice guy. I've tried all the nicest approach,
Yeah, right.
I'm a very nice guy.
so you try. Okay, there's the reasonable approach. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear and don't swear. But what is the unreasonable approach? And don't swear, okay?
I'm dying to get
Yeah, what is the
unreasonable approach is I have actually dented and punctured opposite car.
Have you?
Yeah, I've scratched up cars, I've punctured it, I would do silly things, I'm telling you.
What, to people who've parked in what you perceive to be your parking space?
Yeah.
Now, Nigel, this is just the kind of guy that you're looking for, isn't it?
I'm just wondering, if you go and puncture somebody else's tyre, the car's never going to move then.
Very, very
that
good
car on my way, let's immobilise it. Wow.
Very good point, PJ. PJ, you possibly didn't think that one through, did you, before you punctured someone's tyre? It's like clamping them and move them along, isn't it? It's not really going to work. So, presumably...
What good in the world does clamping the car do?
People don't learn not to
clamp the car because it's in the way, so... What's the sense then in saying, hey, let's make sure this car doesn't go anywhere?
Yeah, but he's done more than that. I mean, PJ, at the risk I'm glad you said PJ, not your full real name, because you're criminally incriminating yourself. But what things, when you do something like that, you are, that's, people are going to want to fight you, aren't they?
Absolutely, I understand that. I mean, if a nice approach doesn't work, what do? Police don't want to know. And nobody else wants to know, so the only other thing is to, take action.
The fundamental thing, PJ, as Niles has pointed out, is that you don't own that space outside.
Indeed you don't. Nigel, we're going to have to leave it there. Nigel, thank you very much. PJ, thank you very, very much. I won't want to live near you, mate.
Asian Network.
Digital television. Digital radio across the UK.
BBC Asian Network.